In this video, we're going to talk about employee appreciation, right? So what's going on here is we're having some cringe examples of employee appreciation. Let's go through the first clip here.
When I say employee appreciation, what do you think of? If you thought pizza party, you'd be correct. Employees were treated to a pizza lunch to celebrate another milestone in Meebo's continued success. If you look closely, you'll see the look of someone who's thinking, nah, they better not post this on LinkedIn. Surely. Hashtag love my job, hashtag now hiring, hashtag benefits. Huh? You could have some of that pizza if you work there. Actually, did you know that if you work on the corporate side of Domino's, they send you to pizza party school? Sorry, I mean pizza prep school. Last week I had the incredible opportunity to participate in Domino's pizza prep school. And what an experience. Gratitude. Hashtag Dominoid, hashtag appreciation. I guess you even get this little degree here. Today we're
So let's look at this. This is again HR cringe, HR Karen. We have a HR professional, as you can see at the very top, future HR business partner. Again, someone who can has incredibly amounts of control over your career and your career growth and getting you cancelled at work on the basis of maybe a false female allegation against you. Again, what are they doing for their team members? They're having a Domino pizza prep school, right? This is leading them to being in a fast-paced, high-energy environment, making pizzas, managing the rush. They're doing some kind of Domino pizza team activity, right? Now, it's up to the company how they want to treat their employees. But again, like if you're someone who is working maybe in a corporate job and you have to do some kind of cringe pizza making party, like why would you want to participate in it? And why is it every time the company wants to do something for their team members, it's either cringe or it's some cheap unhealthy thing? I mentioned in another video recently whereby we had to work long hours during elections on the trading floor at major American investment banks, and they would bring in like donuts and coffee, right, to keep people awake during these long work hours rather than something maybe more healthier, or letting people sleep and come in late the next day so they can sleep in and catch up on sleep. Again, we see the same kind of reoccurring theme: the HR professional, the HR Karen, the white woman mafia, the middle-aged white woman mafia who have a lot of power in the corporate world. Let's look at some of the cringe, typical, almost ChatGPT type wording: incredible opportunity, immersive training, fast-paced, high energy, deep appreciation. She's using other buzzwords like dedication, speed, teamwork, things like that. Biggest takeaway: stay in sync. This is the thing where you see all these type of words and you're like, are these people real? Are they NPCs? Are they normies? It's like, how can someone operate like this? And I think if you just talk like humans or talk like guys would normally talk, you just have a more easy to manage corporate environment. But it's become kind of so weird and it's become unnatural. It's inhuman. That's the only way of describing it. Not only doing this kind of pointless pizza prep school thing as a team activity if you're in the corporate world, it's like, okay, I don't really want to do that, but on top of it we're going to throw in all these buzzwords and make it sound like it's this super useful thing. And the only people who I've seen appreciate it is senior management who don't get involved in this type of cringe. They're just overseeing it. Or it's HR who are like the mothers at work who are kind of enforcing you to get involved in it. And the other thing that she uses here, we united at this company. We united at this company by purpose and passion. And the thing is right here, if you can see where my mouse is, right? United at this company by purpose and passion. And the thing is, we're not united by purpose and passion at a company. We're united by money and time. That's the thing that's getting traded here. I'm trading my time for money. And you're paying me for my time, right? Even if you're not getting paid by an hourly rate, that's all it is, right? There's nothing else. We have nothing else in common. I would not be here talking to you unless there was money involved, right? And that's the thing, when you go to the office, you are surrounded by strangers, right? It's easy to get too comfortable with these people, right? Like at the end of the day, they're a complete stranger. The only thing keeping you, it's like a Venn diagram, right? The only thing keeping you united, if you can see a Venn diagram, the overlap area, is that the money and time and the work you're doing, right? So the hard work and the hustle. And what I find funny is occasionally is when they start using the word hustle, or they start taking words that could be part of, let's just say, rap music or any type of niche, and they try to put it into the corporate world, right? Like, oh, it's all about the hustle and bustle of work. And some words you'd even see that just, you wouldn't normally see in corporate wording, but they just like to take it from other parts of culture to make it seem like they're relatable and in tune with culture. And she says here, I'm officially a dominoid now. This is kind of crazy. I don't know if you've heard the term Amazonian. So if employees at Amazon are called Amazonian, they have all these type of weird words. If you worked at certain companies, you're an Amazonian if you work at Amazon. You're a dominoid if you work at Domino's. I would say be careful around personally identifying with a company, because you could deal with a layoff, you could not like the company because you're dealing with a toxic manager. So again, it's not happy family. You're just working at the company for a few years before you move on. You don't want to delude yourself with some ridiculous way of describing yourself.
Here we got all of our colorful pipe cleaners, our markers, our paints. This is good. And we're making little banners here. Wow, that is fantastic. We even have some glitter over here. Some glue stick, couple sheets of paper if you want, but no more than 2. Okay, we're on a budget. Now it's basically a kindergarten classroom. Okay, pour the glitter on the glue, but be careful, okay? Don't mess it up. Look, the letter's merging in with the other letter. We have to fix it. This is serious stuff. Employee appreciation, okay? Oh yes, the person who just got to work because they had an appointment this morning, and this is now what they're doing today. Now, after all those arts and crafts, you'll need a little refreshment so that you can do the next activity. And you know what they say, right? When life gives you cubicles, make lemonade. Wait, I don't think that's how it goes. So they just brought this down the cubicle, gave people a glass of lemonade, plastic cup of lemonade rather. Cubicle 136, please report to your manager's office. Great. This actually looks like the office from Office Space. Like, do you have your red stapler in there? They just pour the Minute Maid into some cups with ice. Amazing. Look at how exciting and fast-paced this office is. The American dream coming into this for 20, 30 years. The happy face almost makes it even more sad.
Again, this is the corporate cringe that men are put through. It's a humiliation ritual. If you look at this guy, right, he's kind of a balding, older, middle-aged guy who's treated like a kid. And again, this is the problem with this liberal feminist culture, where you have these guys who believe happy wife, happy life, and they take the simp culture in their personal life and they go and export it to their corporate life. And all of a sudden, you have instances whereby people are expected to be in the corporate world and put up with this. And I really do blame a lot of these liberal men, right? Whatever you want to call them, beta orbiters, beta bucks, simps, whatever, is that they have normalized this culture in society broadly. So this gets applied to the corporate world. And now it reached a point where it's not just him being a pushover to his wife. It's that younger men who are fed up of this type of ridiculous, infantilizing, domesticating, emasculating culture. And now they have to deal with this at work, right? You have to deal with it at work, whereby you're at work and these women are treating you like you're a child. It's just completely ridiculous. I think you should really think about this. Like, if you look at the entire dynamic here, like he says, you've got pipe cleaners, you've got the markers, you've got the paints, the glitter and the glue. How can this be considered in any way a good use of your time, of company time? It's just completely delusional. And if we move forward to the lemonade stand, just looking at the guy's face, right? I mean, like, in what sense could he consider this is a good use of his time? Right. And I just think, I mean, there's so much to be said about this photo. I feel like this is a meme on itself. Let me know in the comments how you'd caption this particular instance. It's like the guy's look on his face is like, oh, I have to participate in this. It's a bit ridiculous. I don't know, what is he wearing? An apron? Yeah, he's wearing an apron, right? That says lemonade stand boss. She's wearing a t-shirt, lemonade stand. This guy looks like he could be in his mid to late 30s. Same for the woman here. It's like, what is going on? Why does the guy have to be treated like a child? Why is she even being forced to play along with it? I get the impression she might not want to be doing this either. And it's just like there's so many weird dynamics at work. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to go on a tangent here. But even if I think about the way she's dressed, like she's wearing these tight pants. And she's probably wearing these tight pants so people notice the way she looks. And it's like, we're all going to work to get the work done, but it becomes so little about the work. Maybe it's women looking for attention. Maybe it's guys having to play this emasculated, domesticated role because that's what Western culture is now. And then if they're producing these fake lemonade to sell in their office, Like, who is winning here? Why are the balloons there? Who filled up the balloons, right? Who inflated the balloons? Was it an assistant? Were it other team members? It's like, if you, like I say, if you just have to focus on the work, everyone can get their day job done in about 4 hours and have all the free time to do what they want, or have a 4-hour deep work block in the morning, have some meetings, schedule as many meetings as you can, as you need actually, in the early afternoon, and then you can leave about 3 p.m. You can work 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. if you just focus on getting the work done and having the essential meetings. You would cut off at least 2 hours of the work day, because it's not just this that's a waste of time. It's tons of pointless meetings, pointless chit chat, pointless gossips, teamwork, events, work drinks. All of these things are complete and utter waste of a real person's time, of a real person who has a brain, who's not an NPC, who's not a normie, right? So if we continue with this, why do they have a lemonade stand? It's not, why don't they have any adult activity ideas? Like, what I realized is when you have a society that's so sanitized, so feminized, which is the longhouse, and it's so politically correct, the only safe activities cannot be adult activities, because you don't want to introduce alcohol too much, for example, because people could get drunk and do inappropriate things. So what ends up happening is all the team activities are treating you like a child, right? It's basically someone who's making those little pointless things we showed earlier with those little crafts activities with the earlier guy here. Why is this the activity? Because in a politically correct world, that's the only thing that's safe to do, is what kids would be doing. Same thing with this. Why do you have this other instance right here? Why do you have the lemonade stand? It's the only safe thing you can do in the office. Now everything's politically correct, right? You can't have a hunting trip or a fishing trip. Oh no, that's impacting animals. So it's just a bit ridiculous. Next clip right here.
How's that sound? Yesterday, the Greenies went to the park in Greenfield next public road where other people can see this humiliation. I'm sorry, I mean this engaging employee activity. And I'm not sure how this is employee appreciation. Come on. Remember that one time I made a video with the unpaid intern where we went to the playground to make videos of how ridiculous these team building exercises are? Well, I guess this company took inspiration from it because they took their employees to the children's playground. Wow. This will be fun. Time for a scavenger hunt. Please, only one at a time on the slide. So much camaraderie and fun we shared outdoors. Left me with a lasting smile. Hashtag team bonding. But you know, after a day out like that, I think the kids have been pretty good. I think we should give them a treat. What do you think? All right, it's time for some ice cream then. Today was a perfect day for an ice cream float break, especially after receiving such great feedback from our last 2 executive visits. Here's to more wins and little cups of ice cream. Now you'll notice here in the back left, the look of someone who is ecstatic. Thanks. Please, sure, whatever. I'm just on my break. You'll notice complete disregard for the other people in the photo. Maybe a little bit more awareness before posting how much they appreciate working there. Well, you can even put some whipped cream on it if you want to while it lasts. Come on, first come, first serve. Even get some chocolate and some sprinkles. Wow. Now maybe it's just me here, but I think they're pushing the hashtags a bit far on this. Nothing brings people together like the smell of freshly baked cookies, and somehow that's team culture, employee appreciation, but let's also not forget to make it about leadership in action, huh? Don't forget about us leadership though, okay? Without us, there's no cookies. Went to the...
So what do we have here, right? So we have an interesting little clip here. It says talking about the Greenies. Imagine you go and work for a company, senior corporate guy, and you have to be called Greenies, right? This is a senior director, talent acquisition. You can see from her face, it's a woman. It's, you know, again, you've got these demographics of women who have incredible power over a lot of grown men in the corporate world. Imagine you go to work and you have to go to a team event, an employee appreciation picnic, and you have to be dealt with being called a greenie. Like, are you comfortable with that? I don't know. It's just a bit ridiculous. Then we've got this kind of description. She says exciting activities. What does she talk about here? Scavenger hunt, dinosaur race, piñata, gardening, right? And are these any interesting things for grown adults? No, they're treating you like children again, right? Then she's using words here like special shout out goes to this female employee Laurie, and then it says a whole bunch of other rubbish we're not going to read right now. But again, it's small things I notice, right? The words like shout out, hustle, it's things like that where they're like, let's take other elements of more let's just say trendy culture or hip hop culture, whatever it would be, and like incorporate that slightly into our corporate wording and mix it in with our corporate wording. So it's just a bit ridiculous. Now, if we look at this, who enjoys this, right? She mentions Laurie Hefner is making incredible side salads and delicious desserts. Again, it's like a family event. They're trying to treat things like a family event when it's clearly not. If we look at the next little clip here, I mean, again, imagine being that guy. Imagine being that guy. You're 20 years deep into your career. You're supposed to be making as much money as possible, maybe being a father of multiple kids. And this is what you have to participate in to ensure your job security, right? It's the life of the average man is one humiliation ritual after the other, right? Not to sound like Andrew Tate or someone like that, but this is what you see time and time again. You're like a kid in a park, right? This is going on LinkedIn, bear in mind. People are going to see this for the rest of your life. Having to, almost treated like, oh, you got to eat this ice cream, have the cookies like a little kid in a park, right? And they're outside, it looks like their company building. It is. I can see in the background it says Greenies or Greenfield or something, right? Imagine having to do this and then go back and being treated like a respected figure. It is completely ridiculous. And I realize other demographics are picking up on this nonsense. I remember even some women of different races would kind of imply to me that they thought some of these things were ridiculous too, when I'd see similar things in the corporate environment in finance. So let's look through this one last clip here.
Now, if you're lucky, at the end of the day, they might even give you a little certificate and a gift card. Look at all these people that get to go have some burgers. You get a burger, and you get a burger. In this one, the LinkedIn post builds it up to be something absolutely amazing and astounding. Tremendous resource for new staff, always generous, kind, and encouraging. And then you come down. They just come to the meeting room that they're in, and this is it. Employee of the Month award. Crying on the internet. Got to get that one on there. For employee, look at that certificate. Really moves people, huh? Hopefully there was more to it than that. We really want to believe. Love how this person's just carrying a stack of cards of, okay, who are we giving the next award to? This person, right? Okay, get your camera ready. Come on.
I mean, this is what I mean, and I'm trying to say this nicely, right? You don't want to sacrifice your time, your health, your energy to a company that all they're going to do, she's crying right now, right? Because she's probably sacrificed a lot for this company, for this piece of paper, right? So she's worked for this company for many years, it looks like, and she's got this award. Outstanding performance, dedication, and service. Like, who is being fooled by this? And this is what I realized. This is why the system wants weak, effeminate, emasculated, domesticated, castrated, censored men, because you see through all this nonsense. You look through this and be like, okay, I don't want this paper page. I want paper as in money. Yeah, give me extra money if I've done good performance, right? But so many people, weaker guys, effeminate guys, or women, are easily brainwashed by the corporate cringe, and they'll be like, oh, I'll just put up with that. Oh, there's a little ceremony, everyone's clapping for me. It's completely ridiculous. Now, if you're focused on your freedom as a man and you actually want to build a life where you can live on your own terms, you can get started with me. I have a 12-week coaching program to help you outsmart office politics, increase your salary, take control over your career, and if your role feels unstable or your workload keeps rising without reward, I'll help you plan your next move so you can secure higher paying opportunities before things begin to deteriorate. Schedule a call with me now, link in description to do that. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this corporate cringe, and I'll see you in the next video.